All right, Alfred Teleferro, Mr. Teleferro TV. Let me just make this clear. People talk and they talk. They say, Teleferro, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to sports. You don't know. Man, sports are something that comes natural to me. I've been knowing more than grown people at the age of 8 when it comes to sports. You will never outdebate me in a sports conversation. Let me make that clear. Period. No one. And when I talk Carmelo Anthony, I want to make this clear. I don't want to hate on this brother. Carmelo Anthony is a very talented, gifted scorer, a great brother from everything I've seen. Gives back to a lot of communities. As a matter of fact, I believe over the Christmas holiday, I watched him give a couple a car, or give a boy a car. A great individual. But we have to admit the fact that because Carmelo Anthony, one of the most talented scorers in the last 25 years, hell, ever, because he came out in the same draft class as LeBron James, as Dwayne Wade, as a Chris Bosh, the expectations rose to a point that Carmelo Anthony just couldn't succeed at. And when you hear stories like this, you just say, man, gosh, you want to see Melo at least get to a finals, but right now it doesn't look like that. Carmelo Anthony apparently wants out of New York, all right? He was asked about, his current situation in New York. The Knicks have been atrocious as of late. Phil Jackson, just the whole organization is a mess, right? It's just a mess. Anthony was asked about the possibility of Phil Jackson, the VP of the New York Knicks, not wanting him in New York. And he was like, if that's the case, if they feel my time in New York is over, I guess that's a conversation that we should have. When you start hearing stuff like that, people, it is only a matter of time. Carmelo Anthony's stay in New York is probably closer to the end than it is the beginning. Right now, the New York Knicks are 11th in the Eastern Conference, a record of 18-23. If the playoffs started today, they got like maybe the 7th or 8th worst record in the NBA. Hell, they're in a lottery, clearly right now. Looking for a top 10 draft pick if the playoffs started today. Derrick Rose has actually played pretty good basketball this year for what I expected. It's everything about Derrick Rose that I'm not liking. The missing the game because of the family matter. You got to call in the work. What does that show me? It shows me that he's not dedicated to this game of basketball like he should be. And he wants a max contract after the season. Joakim Noah, just not what he was. Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, just not the players that they was. Kristaps Porzingis, the only bright spot. But Carmelo stops the ball every time he gets it. He's a ball stopper. It is what it is. He can still score with the best of them, but he stops that ball. And do you really want a Carmelo Anthony if he gets you 25 shots a game, 25 points per game, but it takes him 25 shots to get it? A point a shot? When you're giving 2 points for each shot you make, or threes? I don't know about Carmelo Anthony, guys. And let me say this. I don't necessarily feel all the way sorry for Carmelo Anthony. For those who don't remember, a couple years ago, there was a window for Carmelo Anthony to sign with the Chicago Bulls that would have gave them a starting lineup of Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Carmelo Anthony, Taj Gibson, and Joakim Noah. But Melo chose to sign back with the New York Knicks. That was his decision. Nobody's decision but his. Well, the only thing that Carmelo has in his favor is he does have a no-trade clause that he should not have. And it's gonna make it hard for the Knicks to trade him to a bad team. It's just gonna make it hard. But I'm telling y'all now, if you're a New York Knicks fan out there, the process of getting this team back into the playoffs starts after you leave Carmelo Anthony alone. You need to be built around Kristaps Porzingis, similar to how Dallas built around Dirk for those years, and you figure everything else out. You don't need a player like Carmelo Anthony who stops the basketball. Looks like Carmelo Anthony is on his way out of New York. What do you think about Carmelo Anthony staying in New York? What do you think about Carmelo Anthony as a basketball player? Are you a Carmelo Anthony fan? I want y'all to talk to me in my comment box below. Very sad situation, but it looks like we're seeing the end of Carmelo Anthony in New York. He's not getting along with Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is talking behind his back left and right. It's been inside the organization. Phil doesn't like Melo. Phil thinks Carmelo stops the ball too damn much. Phil thinks Carmelo Anthony doesn't have the demeanor of a LeBron James to win a championship. Phil wants to still run a triangle offense. He still believes it can work. In this day and fashion, I don't believe it can work myself. But I don't think you can run a triangle offense with Joakim Noah, Carmelo Anthony, and Derrick Rose. I just don't think it will work, man. Or even on the other side with Kristaps Porzingis and Courtney Lee. I just don't think it will work. What do you think about this New York Knicks situation? It's a mess. And don't get me wrong, Brooklyn Nets. I remember I did a blog on the Brooklyn Nets and some people had some things to say. Y'all got the worst record in the NBA. I will be doing something special for you guys soon. After Telefero, Mr. Telefero TV, coming on the New York Knicks. Thank you for the time, love, support, salute. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@mrtelefero.com. Again, that's booking@mrtelefero.com.